the camera now. Mira, give me
Good
tips.
morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody?
Are you awake? Of course, yeah. If you are not awake, you're not going to be here. I'm not going to talk to you.
So today is the last day of the week, my love. Of this, everything is available to me.
Let me tell you a joke. One guy was walking on the street and saw one girl on the bike, and he said to her, "Cow," and she turned to him and said, "Idiot." And then she turned back and she crashed in the cow. And the guy said, "At least I tried." Okay, it's Bulgarian joke. If you don't laugh, it's okay, no problem. But it's Saturday, so
Yeah. So what did you take from this week?
I took one cake. By the way, listen, I wanted to tell you something. Yesterday I listened to Mark Anastasi, and Mark Anastasi actually was inspired from Peter Sage. He went to his seminar in London. Mark Anastasi was homeless for 6 months. And what actually gave him this trigger to Mark Anastasi to continue after this workshop is he made all the homework Peter Sage gave.
Yeah.
Mark, he will say this on Wednesday. He's going to say his story on Wednesday. But this is what make me aware. I said, wow, so the homework is really matter. Sorry, I'm like the worst teacher at school, which nobody loves. Everybody hates. Said, "This again? Yes, this again." All right, but please, okay, my love. If you love them, go on.
Yeah, I can add something on this. Today we have Mira, so I can say something that she told me. Actually, because he's the worst student, but I am the best student. I'm very committed and I'm very disciplined when I do something. And I remember we were working with Mira, and I told her, this happened in my life and everything. And she told me, you deserve it. You were doing everything. I don't know many people like you that were doing everything and committed. So she said, I don't know how electricity works, but it works. So sometimes you don't need to know how it works. Just do it, and you will find after the results. And the same things apply with Mark that you will see on Wednesday, which is one of my mentor. And he was always congratulating me because I was doing all of the exercise and see that, yeah, it's working. If you do it, you will see the results. So really, I advise you to do. And so today, let's bring Mira now. Oh, you want to say something?
Yeah, some people, they're very enthusiastic. They open the coffee shop. They say, "Listen, guy, I'm going to make a franchise." After 1 month, you go, they're like, "Doesn't work. I make advertising. Nothing to levi, filable. This country sucks. This crisis, blah, blah." No, man. When you make advertising for 1 month and then you change to another place and then to another place, of course, it will never work. It's like going to the gym for 3 days and then watching in the mirror. Yeah. No, I've been eating for years only sweets, and now I'm going 2 days and I want to be like Army. No way. Oh, my left.
All right. So let's continue now with Mira. So Mira will explain us today how we can actually collaborate with our mind. We know our mind is a grade 7, but a very poor master. So she will tell us how we can cooperate and create great success in our life. Good morning, Mira.
Good morning, everyone. Pleasure to be with you. So Krasimir started with a joke. I will start with a story. Do you remember which year World Ventures came to Cyprus? I'm very bad with counting the years. For me, it's like only now. But there is me in Cyprus, and World Ventures, which is a magnificent traveling club, comes to Cyprus. And I go to a seminar because these people, when they came, they started with training. They were training their members because it was a network marketing opportunity besides being a fun and pleasure club. And there I go to a seminar of World Ventures, amazing speakers, amazing atmosphere, a lot of people, interests, young people. And I go there with my friend Lydia Kyriakidou and with my friend Audrey. And, there is this amazing speaker from Israel, Oz Koren. He's on stage and he's telling us about this thing. Now, You have to know something about me. I come from a family that is nothing like entrepreneurial. I mean, my parents have worked hard a lifetime for a salary. My father was a construction worker, and my mom needed to do a couple of qualifications to be able to work as a kindergarten teacher. And can you imagine what my mindset was back then, which was I was not aware of? And I'm sitting there, and all the time I'm like, he's talking, and I'm like, yeah, right, as if it was so easy. But I don't see how this can happen. How can I do this? I don't know. And my friend Lydia Kirekidu was pushing me all the time with her elbow, keep quiet, keep quiet. But I cannot keep quiet because now my ego is, I know it better. And there comes this break when, between the seminar. And we go to the seminar room, everybody's taking coffee, everybody's in groups talking. And I said to my friend Lydia, I have a question for us. I have to get there. I have to ask. I don't know. This what he says doesn't reach me. It doesn't talk to me. I need to know what he means, why he said that. And she says, okay, if you like, we'll go. So we join us. He's with other participants of the seminar. And they're asking questions, and I wait. And my turns come, and I say, Oz, what you said didn't make sense to me. And then he says, okay, tell me your question. And I start asking, and he starts answering. And he's talking to me, and I go like, yes, I know that. But, and then he explains to me. And then he goes, and I say, yeah, okay, but what if, da-da-da-da-da. And then he continues explaining, and I say, but I don't see how this can help me. I don't see how this can work for me because I know that. And then he says to me, let me tell you one story about a Buddhist teacher and a Buddhist student. A Buddhist student that has been with his teacher for many, many years has tea with his teacher. And the student says, teacher, I want you to teach me this new thing that you have. And, can you explain to me? Can you tell me? And the student continues explaining to the teacher how many things he knows, and the student says, I am so grateful. I want to be like you. I want to follow you, but I don't understand these things. And the teacher just listens to the student, and the student goes on and on and on. And then the teacher says, let me pour some tea into your cup. And the student gives the cup, and the teacher pours. And the student holds the cup, and the teacher pours and pours and pours. And very soon the cup is full. And then the cup begins to overspill. And the tea is hot. And the student says, wait, don't you see? The cup is overflowing. And the teacher says, I want to give you some more tea. And the student says, but wait, I have to empty my cup first so that you can pour more tea. And the teacher says, exactly, you're right. Before I can teach you something new, you have to take away some of the stuff that you declare that you already know, so that there is room for me to give you something more and something that you haven't had before. And when he told me that, it was like a lamp that started blinking in my mind. And that was the first time when I met my own resistance. And I was facing my own resistance, which I was not aware of before. And the reason I'm saying this story is because in a while, when I start talking about how we can collaborate with the mind, I'll be mentioning resistance. And I wanted to give you an example. Resistance is very, very convinced. I know that I know, and I'm right. And when I see something, I look at that and I say, this thing will probably not work for me. I don't know how this is going to help me. What does he mean? I mean, I don't see any reason here. I cannot connect to that. And that's fun. That's phenomenally okay because it's part of human nature. How does the mind work, and why it's not easy? I mean, it is simple, but it's not easy to reach a goal. And Peter said it correctly. It's about who you need to become to reach your goal, which means how successfully will you handle your resistance so you can reach your goal? Well, I mean, it's no wonder you want to have a bikini body, but you can't stay away from chocolate and pizza for long enough. You want to, let's say, take this exam, but you end up doing everything else but sitting down and studying for the exam. Or let's say you want to make friends, but you can't be bothered to go out and socialize. It doesn't feel comfortable for any reason. That's the thing. How do I make my mind to help me feel in the right mood to go after what I want, to carry out my intentions? Because we all have fantastic intentions. It's like, I think it was a German proverb that says that the way to hell is paved with good intentions. Just having an intention, doesn't work if you don't follow. So your mind. Well, the first rule about the mind, and I probably have mentioned it before, but I will repeat myself, and I know that sometimes I repeat myself, and I do it on purpose because it's repetition that makes the difference. The first rule of the mind is the mind must act upon what it thinks you want. It's there 24/7 to listen to you and to do whatever you say. Your mind is like, your wish is my command. And you say, I have cellulite. Who's going to like me? The mind says, yeah, you're right. And it makes sure that you never get the boyfriend that you like. Or you say, I am just trapped in my marriage. And the mind says, yeah, you're trapped. And it makes sure that you have miserable time with your spouse, that you don't take the time for an open dialogue, or if you do, you just end up fighting again. Or you say, at work, in the office, my colleagues seem to be kind of better because my boss never compliments me on my work. Your mind says, okay, so I'll make sure that you never get the pay raise because, I have to prove to you, I have to act on your truth. It's like your mind is looking at what you're focusing upon, and it is taking it as your truth and says, yeah, I'm a servant, I have to make it happen. What other example can I give? For example, if you say, I'm not a good father, I'm not a good mother, then your mind goes and creates situations in which your kids start yelling at you, or your wife or your ex-wife is blaming you, and you get more and more of the stuff. Okay, now, what do you want to do? You want to give up complaining. When you think about your goal, you have to give up discontentment when you think about your goal. And I know what you say. You say, well, that's easily said than done. And that's exactly like that because of rule number 2 of the mind. So rule number 1 is the mind must act upon whatever it believes you want, because you're focusing on these things. Whatever you focus upon, the mind believes that's what you want, and it gives it to you. Rule number 2, the mind loves what is familiar and hates the new things. Everything that's new, everything that you start for the first time, the mind is like coming up with resistance because it's not sure if that thing will be beneficial to you in the sense of survival. It's like you say, now I want to collaborate with my mind. I will not say, I have cellulite, who is going to like me? I say, I might have cellulite, but I also have a nice smile and a charming personality. Everybody will like me, right? You take this step. You say, at the office, I have brilliant colleagues. Each one of them is like very good at what they're doing. And my boss is true, never compliments me on my work, but it has everything to do with my boss and nothing to do with me, because I know I'm of contribution, right? Or you say, my marriage, these days has really been coming upon some challenges, but I believe that in these challenges, there is the greatest potential to develop my relationship further, and I'm going for that. fantastic, but there is the second rule of the mind. The mind says, what are you talking about? I mean, all these years we've been fine with you not liking yourself, with you quarreling with your husband, with you being discontented with your job and with your boss. Now you're telling me something new. Come on, I don't trust that. The mind will resist. The mind will say, what? Muscle testing? What is this? It doesn't work for me. What do you think? You can do that now? I don't know what she's talking about, because it's new. And the mind does it with a very good intention, because the main purpose of the limbic mind, the main purpose of the emotional mind, is to make you survive. And the mind goes like that. If it's something that you have done before, it is safe. You have proven, you have survived so far. So it's okay for you to think that you have cellulitis. It's okay for you to think that you're a miserable parent. It's okay for you to doubt your contribution at work. At least we know it. The evil that we know it cannot kill you. The new thing, I'm not sure. I don't know. What are you talking about? Because the mind doesn't care if this thing that you want, that you focus upon, really serves you or doesn't. The mind doesn't care if what you focus upon is healthy for you or not. The mind is not bothered if this thing that you focus upon is going to benefit you, because the mind is not responsible for your happiness. The mind is only responsible for your survival, and it always sticks to what it knows. Like me, at the World Venture Conference, I was sticking to what I knew for dear life. I was not letting in the new. I was expecting when the new comes for it to feel familiar. That's a paradox. That's not possible. Okay? So know of this rule of the mind, and what do you do? When you know about this rule of the mind, you are tolerant with yourself and you say, I will stick with the new. I know it's a little bit uncomfortable, but the mind likes repetition. And if you stay at that, if you stick at that, and you just take the effort, the mind goes like, well, okay, you have been repeating that for such a long time. Maybe that's really true for you. So let me make it happen for you because of rule number 1. I have to deliver. I have to act upon what I think you want. And I believe that whatever you focus upon, you want it. Now you're focusing on that releasing. I don't know, but you have been doing that for quite some time. Okay, the mind will give it the okay, but not immediately, not straight ahead. Don't get frustrated with yourself. That's human nature. It's not your fault. It's like, it happened to you. I can tell you, I was so resistant when I first learned about releasing. You know me, I know it all at that time. I was not doubting that whatever I knew was the truth, was reality, and was the only reality. I was resistant for a long time. I was doing it, then not doing it, then coming back again at it, but every time when I was doing it, I could feel myself moving closer to my goal. Rule number 1, the mind must act upon whatever you focus upon because it believes that this is what you want. Rule number 2, the mind will always resist when it is something new. You say, I want now to have a more interesting job. I'm bored at my job and I want to research. I want to take some steps, go and see what is that I can do. You will feel fear. You say, I want to be punctual. I want to come on time. You will feel resistance. You'll say, yeah, okay, next time. That's very normal. How can you change that? By sticking with the new. Stupidly, outrageously, stubbornly, without understanding why, how. The how doesn't matter. You just go ahead and stay with the new. Embrace the new. Repeat the new. How did you learn to ride a bike? I'm sure the first time you want like, oh God, that's I don't know, this is very difficult. I don't understand. How can I keep my balance? It's an absurd. But then today, it happens just like that. Stick with the new. Rule number 3 of the mind. You can say, okay, now I'm changing my focus and I stick with the new, but it sucks because it's so uncomfortable and I hate discomfort. Uh, the mind has the rule number 3 that says, oh, I'm responsible for your survival. So I have to make sure you stay away from pain. You stay close to pleasure. If you feel pleasure, I know you are not at the danger of dying. That's limbic mind. That's very, very restricted, very, habitual mind. There is no logic in that thing. There is no reasoning. That's just like, oh, okay, you stay away from pain. It's like, for example, I want to go to the gym, and I want that, flat stomach. And but, when I begin sweating, when I begin doing the push-ups, it feels painful. It's painful to me because I have to take out of my comfort zone. And the mind says, oh, sit down, take a Coke, go to pleasure. Or let's say I want to restrict my diet for more healthy food, but that's pain because, I don't find it inspiring to, have this salad all the time because it smells like, steaks, and then it comes this ice cream. I mean, it's summertime, it's ice cream, and the mind says, that salad, it's all pain, nothing but pain. Go to pleasure, take the ice cream, because the limbic mind, the primary mind, thinks that when you stay at pleasure, you are better off than when you stay at pain. It doesn't see, it cannot differentiate what serves you, what doesn't serve you. It only knows, it has to be something that you know. It has to be something that gives you pleasure. Yeah, but like that, I'll stick to what I always knew. I sit on the sofa, I watch movies, and I, put in the nice food, the pizza, the ice cream. That doesn't serve me anymore. So when this happens, when the next time when you fail at being punctual, the next time when you fail at going to the gym, the next time when you fail at your sincere effort, don't blame yourself. Don't go, I'll never amount to nothing, I never measure up, I'm no good. Just be smart and say, that must be rule number 3. I know. That's rule number 3. Because now, how do you overcome this? You have a goal. We've been talking about you having a goal. Everything is available to me, but it doesn't feel like everything is available to me. If it doesn't feel like that, it's because of the resistance of the mind. It's because of the rules 1, 2, and 3. Let's repeat. 1, the mind must act upon whatever you focus upon. Be aware what you're focusing upon. Give up complaining. Give up discontentment. 2nd, the mind will not let you do a new thing just like that. The mind will resist. The mind will make you sound just like I did on that World Ventures conference. I know, but you have to see. I don't know what do you mean? That's okay. Stick with whatever you hear. Stick. Be open. Empty your cup so that more can come in. Rule number 3, you will be always looking for comfort and you'll always fear discomfort. When you embrace discomfort for comfort to come, it's not because you like it. You embrace discomfort because you choose to. In a moment, I'm going to talk about the language patterns that are connected to this. But for now, just know, how do you overcome this rule number 3? That the mind always will try to stick to pleasure. You purposefully, on purpose, by your own decision, you link pleasure to discomfort. If it is discomfort for you to get up early in the morning, you say, tomorrow I need to get up early, but somehow it excites me. Somehow I love the idea that once I'm up, I can do that and it can help me in this regard. And I am really feeling great when I manage. It gives me pleasure to go after my intentions because then I feel proud of myself. Or you can go like, this pizza really looks attracting and it's tasty and it's yummy. But you know what looks more yummy and attracting to me? When I go into these jeans that are 2 sizes smaller, and when I look in the mirror when my stomach is flat like, like a desk, and that really excites me. I feel great when I slip into my new dress and I feel 2 sizes smaller. That's what excites me. That's where I find my pleasure. My newfound pleasure is in my looking at the mirror. Rule number 4: emotions are always stronger than logic. Don't beat yourself up. Don't get critical to yourself when you know with your mind what is good to do for you, but when it doesn't feel like that, you go after the emotion. Emotions are all about, the way you feel about anything is about 2 things: the pictures that you make in your mind, the words that you tell yourself about. If you say, this traffic is killing me, I'm late, my boss will be in rage. So what you see is a very unpleasant picture, and the words that you say make you feel all the feelings that you have. You are not your feelings. You manifest, you manufacture your feelings. Don't identify. When you feel fear, that doesn't make you a coward. When you feel rage, when you feel anger, that doesn't make you inappropriate. That makes you human. The point is, how do you manage those emotions? How do you step out of the mind frame that created these emotions? Sometimes I'll pass a bakery and I'll say to myself and others that I am with, it looks better than it tastes. Absolutely. At that moment, the message that you're giving to your mind is, I link pleasure to not going in. It's my pleasure to pass it because I know it's just looks. It's an illusion. Your mind is comforted. Your mind says, yeah, I must act upon whatever you focus upon. So you focus that, that never taste is okay. Fantastic. I give you the strength to move on. Yeah. And turn the negative approach to positive. Yes, that means overcome your resistance. But what I want you to know is just that when you begin doing that, you might feel discomfort. You might feel like you want to go to pleasure rather than to pain. You might feel that the new frightens you. The new is not easy to get, and that's okay. How do you overcome these 4 rules of the mind? How do you make your mind to collaborate with you on your goal as you are moving to your goal? Well, let's look at language patterns. Language patterns, fantastic. On the releasing call last week, I said about this a sentence that begins with that. I want to give a fantastic speech, but my stomach squeezes, but I'm not well prepared, but you remember last time, when you use but, that's a language pattern that introduces resistance. That says, your mind is saying to you, okay, I can hear you what you want, but let me tell you what is in my archives. What you have focused upon before, and I still remember, is that you are not good at that, you had a failure before, and all the embarrassment comes into your body, floods you in, because you have a belief, that's a thought pattern that is anchored with an emotion. That's resistance. So you replace but with and. You say, I want to give a fantastic speech, and I'm taking a deep breath to relax my limbic mind. I want to give a fantastic speech, and I am focusing on only one person in the audience, that's my best friend, and I'm talking to everybody as if I'm talking only to my best friend. Replacing but with and. Another language pattern is, I can't get it. I can't stand when people don't follow upon their promises. I can't stand when people change the appointment. I can't stand that. If you say that to your mind believes you're in danger. It puts you on fight and flight immediately. She's in danger because she cannot. Oh, I have to make sure she survives. You replace can't with choose to. I choose to give other people permission to to be different from my expectations, to be difficult, to own their own luggage. And I give myself the gift of a different response. I'm choosing to have a different response. And my different response is, I'm the most resilient person in the world. Nothing can affect me without my permission. I don't even care. I mean, that's not nice. But what do I care? It's all about them. It's nothing about me. I can adjust. I'm flexible. So you replace I can't with I'm choosing to. Another language pattern. I wish, I will try. You know, when you say I wish I could have a better job, I wish I had a boyfriend, I wish, the mind says, okay, you wish. It's very wishy-washy to your mind. Why? Because when there is a cup of tea on the table and you want to take this cup of tea, you don't go like, I wish I could go and I could lift that cup. No, you have an intention to lift the cup, you go, you lift the cup. What's the big deal? You have an intention, you follow up with an action. So don't use I wish. Just replace it with I feel great too. It's a great idea too. I'm deciding to. It makes me feel good as I do this, because wishing is wishy-washy. When you are careful about your language patterns, it's a better command that you give to your mind, because your mind is all the time, remember, your wish is my command. And when you get clear of the resistance and the language pattern that is connected with resistance, your mind becomes so focused, so sharp. It's like a missile on a target. You know, it goes like just zzz, and that's when you reach a goal. But as Peter said, it only happened because you changed who you used to be. And that's what it is, the person that used to be, because you understand your mind better and you don't hook upon whatever your mind is offering you at first. You go and you tell your mind how to respond. You go and you tell your mind how to adjust by choosing the language, by telling your mind, it is safe for me to wake up early in the morning. I link pleasure to waking up in the morning. When I choose words and when I make pictures, I make all pictures about me feeling great. Then the mind will be okay. It will let you, it will get out of your way. That's why the message of today that I want to give you is what I learned back then with World Ventures. Empty your cup before you go to your goal. Learn something new that will help you reach that goal by helping you become different from what you used to be. How do you do that? You find a way to overcome your resistance. It must not be muscle testing and releasing. I was just giving you one way. If you find a better way, fantastic. You must find a way to deal with your resistance. That's the first step towards any goal, the first step towards becoming different than who you used to be. If you always do what you have always done because you believe that you know it all, then you'll always have what you have always had, which will keep you there with that knowledge that you always used to have, but that doesn't serve you anymore because you have a dream, because you have a goal. And like Peter said, I mean, I loved his speech. I was listening to it last night, like until 1 o'clock, and I'm like, shut that mobile down, shut it off and go to sleep. You have to wake up early in the morning, but I couldn't. It's so amazing to be around people who have mastered it. It's amazing to learn from people, to be open for the new. What did Peter say? He said, we are drowning in information these days, and we are deprived we are starving on transformation. Wow, how powerful. Yeah, because I know that this is what I must do. I must release, I must, but I'm not doing it because of the resistance itself. I have resistance to overcoming resistance. And that's like this hamster wheel. No, now you know about your mind. In my opinion, I think that the word try ought to be erased from the vocabulary. Absolutely. Why? Because one can't try something. They either are doing it or not. Exactly my words. Yeah. How to deal with fear in your mind, the same as with resistance. Fantastic observation. Fear is resistance because of the rule of the mind that says it has to be familiar. If it's not, I'm not sure about your survival. I'll give you this fear to make you aware that you're moving away from the familiar. You become aware every emotion that you have is pointing out to a thought pattern that is familiar to you. Okay, we're running out of time. So what I wanted to say, choose your language is the key to me from today. Great. Absolutely. When you choose your language, it's like you're putting into practice your knowledge about the 4 rules of the mind. You collaborate with your mind better because you say, I know that's the survival. I know that's the familiar. I know the mind wants to keep me at pleasure. But I say to your mind, you know, I feel so great to step into the discomfort of the new. And the mind saying, are you sure? What are you talking about? That's some kind of a new thing. And you repeat, I feel fantastic. And the mind says, that is strange. That's weird. And you repeat. And then eventually the mind says, okay, I'm writing it down. I take it on board. That's becoming one of my many knowns. The difference is that this is serving you. This is moving you towards your goal. So my message to you is, it's like take action. Come on the call on Tuesday to learn more about resistance, to practice resistance. But Krasimir suggested, and I strongly agree, we will start with question and answer. We will be there for you so long as you have things to ask about and answer your questions. Then you can go to sleep, and we will stay with the people that want to practice resistance, because I know how hard it is in the beginning, and that proverbial muscle testing that people say, what, this it doesn't work for me, I don't know what she means, and something like that. It's okay, and it's going to be a call that's open-ended, because we don't know how long it takes. So don't get frustrated if you feel like I have had enough, I go to bed. That's your way. It's well, you're welcome. And that's the thing about reaching a goal. Slowly, gradually, consistently, persistently becoming a different person by overcoming the resistance of the old you.
Thank you, Mira. So, before we go to gratitude, can you just tell me with what you would change the word try then?
Yes,
I'll try to do my best.
Yeah, exactly. I'm choosing to do the best I can now and let the future take care of itself. I'm choosing to do this very thing right now, and I don't care about the rest. Forget the rest. I'm choosing to. It gives me pleasure. I'm deciding to, and I'm following on it. I'm not trying. I'm doing it. You know that Nike slogan, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was in one seminar where they were practically making us do this thing, stand up, start jumping and repeating, just do it, just do it, just do it. And I was asking the facilitator, but how to do it? How to do it? And the facilitator told me, the way you can is enough. However you can will be enough. Do it the way you can. Yes. Yeah.
So,
Great.
Mira,
See you on Tuesday.
Mira, do you like to give us your gratitude for today? Before we go to the mastermind.
Okay, take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful that today I had understanding that I didn't have yesterday. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I can see the power that I have. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm not a victim. I'll never be a victim. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful for all the simple joys that my day contains, and I have eyes to see that now. Take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy and grateful now that I am powerful beyond measures and I can feel it. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am no longer self-critical the way I used to be. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I understand myself better. Understanding is power. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now for my awareness. Exhaling. Take a deep breath in and hold. I am so happy and grateful now that I am choosing to step out of my comfort zone and I'm loving it. I'm so happy and grateful now that I can follow and carry on my intentions. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I like and approve of myself, even in the face of resistance. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I know how to make my mind my best friend. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am my own best friend, my own best cheerleader. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I embrace praise. I know how to praise myself, how to encourage myself every step of the way. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now that I know I can do it and it shows. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now for every next challenge. In every challenge lies my greatest potential. Take a deep breath in and hold. I'm so happy and grateful now for that beautiful day, for that beautiful people, for that beautiful me. And the last, I'm so happy and grateful now that it's Saturday and I can go and do whatever my heart desires.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So, what, Bella?
In 15 minutes, there is a Zoom.
So just to let you know that in around 15 minutes we're gonna have the Zoom, the mastermind. So we're going to post it in the page.
It's posted already.
Okay, it's posted already on the page, so you can just join us in the Zoom and ask your question if you have any struggles or anything you like to ask. Thank you. See you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.